how the male characters interact with the women is very important and is a statement for gender politics. When your heroes are treating the women in a certain way, there is a message that's going out. Hi, I'm Kanika Dhillon and you're watching me on Tweak India. If you see my body of work, every film, every female character is deeply discussed, dissected, and then of course there's a furor and then there's a disagreement, which I love. When we talk about things, when we disagree with things or agree with things, or there's a discussion around it, then we are acknowledging that something like this exists. Case in point, Rumi from Manmarziyaan, it was banned in certain places, Punjab, because the point was that how can a woman fantasize about her lover when she's in a holy place? How can you have an x-ray in anyone's heart? It just seemed like very audacious, some people, that a woman can have her own choice. She can have a preference in terms of her own sexuality. In case of Manmarziyaan, even though she was married to her husband, she was still in love with her boyfriend, and that was really not understood from the day one, from my first character that Rumi and Manmarziyaan is where I think as a writer I found my voice. They have always broken the stereotype. I feel the beauty of the female gaze. I can kind of write my male characters who are more sympathetic and empathetic to the women. Now that's a very big and important achievement because when we have female directors and female writers writing male characters, how the male characters interact with the women is very important and is a statement for gender politics. When your heroes are treating the women in a certain way, there is a message that's going out. For example, I had two male characters in Manmarziyaan, very loved, very adored, Robbie and Vicky. Vicky was madly in love with Rumi, but he was indecisive. When she got married, he got jealous, he wanted her back at any cost. And then when he realized that she's moved on, he was gracious and he also had his own learning, coming of age, and he let her go.
गलती हो गई रूमी, कभी दादाजी और चाचा जी के सामने नहीं बोल सका.
The way he handled his partner's growth, there was emotion, there was empathy. This is how I would like more men to behave. A lot of men wrote to me after Manmarziyaan came out, saying that they loved Robbie, they loved Vicky, and I love the fact that the men loved Robbie and Vicky, because when the men are loving Robbie and Vicky, they are liking something about them which they would then like to see in themselves too. First thing that I've learned is that they'll always be judged. Second thing I've learned is that they'll be judged very harshly, harsher than the male counterparts. Case in point, in Haseen Dilruba, the cousin brother cheated on his bhabhi. Nobody talked about that. There was no moral conflict there. But the woman chose to step out of the marriage was really, really judged. The third thing was that I have women coming from smaller towns, and there's a very rigid definition of feminism. Feminism is just not about, getting a job in a corporate. It's not just about the pay packet. It's not just about breaking the glass ceiling. The major part of our country lives in villages and towns. There we don't have corporates. Why is our definition of feminism so exclusive to metro urban women? Because I feel the concept of feminism comes down to the ability to choose, make choices in your own life. Now, if my female character is in a village, what are the choices that I give her? I can't give her a choice if she's not educated. The parents don't have the means to educate her. I can't suddenly bring around or write a circumstance where she has to choose between being a doctor or a scientist. She can't. She doesn't have the means. The parents have not taught her. I feel that when my female characters are judged with a very narrow definition of what a feminist or a feminist gaze should be, that I feel is sometimes incorrect. That I feel sometimes is making this entire concept of feminism very, very exclusive in the sense it's excluding a large mass of our population and women who deserve to kind of be included in this entire concept of make your choices, make mistakes. If you loved watching this video, like, share, subscribe to Tweak India.
You know, it's funny because you are the very first person to say that. Almost every discussion I have focuses around the women and bigamy, and that was sort of intentional. I felt that I had known two heroic women in my grandmother who the world will never know about, unheralded, silently doing their thing.